everybody, and welcome to Storm Rates. And today I'm going to be kind of doing an updated like goals video, my SAS list and all that kind of stuff. I rearranged some things on it, my series about series list, because I started a lot of series or started going on with some others that I didn't even have on my SAS list, and I was like, you know what, clearly I want to read these ones and not these other ones. So I took some of them off and just added those ones on here. So I will talk about those, and if I can remember to let you know whether it was an added series or not. But yeah, so I have my computer over here, so I'll be looking at this a lot. And I have my the first group on this series about series list for this challenge was the series that I've started, and I want to try and finish, or at least continue with at least 3 or more in the series. The 3 or more I don't think is going to happen. If I read 1 from all these series, I will count it, good. So the first one I have on here is Cedar Cove by Debbie May Comer, which I have made a dent in that one, thanks to my retro romance readathon and letting it go a little bit up to 2010 instead of before it was like 2000 and later. I did 2010 this time so that I could include some of Debbie May Comer's books, and that way I could get some of them done. And so I did 6 Raynor Drive and 74 Seaside Avenue. So I finished both of those. So I still have, still have 5 to go. And so yeah, so I have 5 more to go. I would like to maybe try to get 1 more in this year. We'll just have to see how it goes. And then the second one I have is the Fun Jungle series by Stuart Gibbs. There are 7 books in that series, and I have read 5. So I started this one this year, which is why I added this one. I took 1 off and added this one in because I figured clearly I've already read 5. I'm really enjoying it. I do want to finish out the series. So I am actually currently working on number 6, but I have read 1 through 5 so far, so I'm doing really good with that one. Number 3 was the T.J. Jensen series by Kathy Daly. I needed to read 8, 9, and 10, and I have done that, completed the series, because it is a series that is finished. So that is good. I finished at least 1 series off of this list. Probably might be the only series, besides the Stuart Gibbs one, it's probably the only other series that I finished. Kelly Jackson series by Janet Fensilver. I added this one because I restarted the series. Like, I had read 2 books several years ago. Then last month, I believe it was, I read the 3rd one, and then I went ahead and read the 4th one. So I have read 2 books from that series this year, number 3 and number 4. And so I decided to add this one to my series list because there's only, I believe, 6 out in that series. So technically I only need to read a couple more and I could finish or catch up to the series, because I don't know if it's finished. So at least I could catch up to it. Then the next one I have is the Scotland Murder Squad by Alex Grecian. And I only need to read books 4 and 5. But honestly, I think the reason I keep putting this one off is because I can only get it in like the print books. And so it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. But I really want to finish the series out because it only has 2. Which is why I left it on here and I didn't change it. So I need to read The Harvest Man, and I need to read Lost and Gone Forever, and then I will have these done. Yes, I have a floppy and a hardback, but that's the only way I could find them, so that's how it is. Yes, and yes, it does bother me because they're not even, but so I just got these 2 to go. I can do it. I know I can do it. I just got to make time for it. With the end of this year drawing near and nearer, I need to make room for it. And then the next one is the Country Club series by Julie Mulhern. I have read, I need to read 12 through 14. I think there's a 15th one coming out, I think. But I've read number 12 and number 13, so really I just need to read number 14, and I would be caught up. But like I said, I do think there's a 15th one that is coming out. It's just later on, maybe this year. But still, I mean, I only need one to get caught up to that brand new one. So why do I keep putting it off? I don't know. And then Witchlist in Seattle by Dakota Cassidy. I needed to read numbers 8 through 12, and I have read number 8 and number 9. So I would like to at least read one more in this series. And they're short, so, I mean, they're very easy to do. I wasn't a huge fan of number 9, and I think that's kind of got me to where I'm not sure about number 10, but I need to just, just do it. And then I have The Cape Bay Cafe by Lynn Harper, and I need to read number 5 through number 10. It's been a long time since I have read this series, so I'm kind of hoping that I can just jump in and be okay. I'm just not sure. Whenever it's been a long time since you've read any of the books in the series, a lot of times it's just very hard to just jump back in and enjoy the series. But fingers crossed, I'm hoping that I will, because they're really short. Again, short, cozy mysteries. I just need to read them. And I don't remember any of the titles of like the ones that I need with that. But and then I have the Crew of Hunters series by Heather Graham. And I have a lot to go on this one, so there will be no catching up on this series this year. Probably won't be any catching up on the series next year. I am currently on... Where am I? I am on number 16, I think. I'm on 16, which I am currently listening to on audiobook right now. So I have read number 15. I need to finish number 16, then I'll have 2 off of that. But there are actually, I think there's 39 books out in this series now, maybe. I have it marked as 37, but I do believe there were some that came out this year that I didn't have marked, because I made this list last year, and so things have changed. But I do think there are some more that come out. I love this series. It's just so long. It's just a long-running series, and, I just grab one whenever I can, but I always enjoy them. It's kind of like my comfort read whenever I want to just, read something and relax. Crew of Hunters. I love it. So I will read more before the end of the year. I just probably won't read a whole lot of them. And then we have Virgin River by Robyn Carr. This one I need to read numbers 18 through 19, and I've read 8, 9, and 10. So I've got the goal of at least 3. I'm sure I'm probably going to read another one next month, because my friend I buddy read with wants to get onto another one, so I probably will. I can see myself probably reading at least a couple more in this series, probably, before the end of the year. So I'll at least almost be finished with this one, but not quite. And then there's the Gaslight series by Victoria Thompson. That's one of my favorite cozy mystery historical series. And I need to read numbers 15 through 24. Unless there's another one came out, there could be. I'm not sure. But anyway, I have read numbers 15 and 16. I do plan to get to number 17 soon. It hit its stride at number 15 and got really, really good for me. And so I really can't wait to catch up with the series. But then a part of me doesn't want to get caught up with the series. So I think that's why I kind of have been putting it off getting to the next one. But I really, really like it. Then there's the Amish Mysteries by Laura Bradford. I need to read numbers 5 through 7. I had high hopes of reading numbers 5 through 7 during Amish in April. But it didn't happen because my holds didn't come in when I wanted them to come in. And ever since then, every time one of the books comes in, I don't have time to read it, because it's ebook and I can't find an audiobook for it, and so it gets pushed back and gets pushed back, and I really want to finish the series. So I am hoping to get this series finished by the end of the year, so fingers crossed. And then I have the D.I. Nikki Galena series by Joe Ellis. Now, it's been a while since I've read this series too, But I remember really liking Dianiki Galina. She's like a really kind of hardcore character. She is definitely flawed, has a lot going on. Her family, she's got like some traumatic backstory stuff. It is kind of a dark, kind of British mystery series, and I really enjoyed it. I think what happened is I had gotten caught up to where it was at one point, and then it just kind of fell by the wayside, and then I just never continued, and I would like to. So I need to read number 7 through 13. So I dropped off at number 6, and now there's 13. Unless, like I said, unless a new one has come out this year that I don't know about. But I do still want to try to get to some of those, and they're all on audiobook, so I should be able to do this. I just need to remember to look at my list whenever I'm making out my TBR. Ishmael Jones by Simon R. Green. I need to read numbers 2 through 19, or 19. 2 through 9. So evidently I've read book 1, and I think I might have read book 1 last year or the year before. But I remember I liked it. It was kind of a different kind of mystery. It's paranormal. The main character is kind of like an alien of some sort. I think he's strange. He's a little different. And the first one had like vampires in it. So yeah, like I said, paranormal. It was different, but I liked it, and I would like to continue on with it. I think the next one was like Dead Man Walking or something like that. But yeah, I'd like to, with that series, I would at least like to read one. Just read one. Then there's The Seaside Cafe by Bree Baker. It has 7 books in this series. It is a completed series. I have read book 1. I think I read it either last month or the month before that, somewhere around there. Really enjoyed it, so I decided to put it on my list. So it is a new one that I have added to the list. Then I have Meg by Steve Alten. I need to read numbers 2 through 7. I didn't really foresee me reading a lot in this series. I've read book 2, so at least I have read 1. And I really liked it. It was good. It's a little sciencey, but it was good. I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do with the series moving forward. It's like, I don't know, how many times can you like chase after a big gigantic megalodon? And evidently they can do it like 7 times. And I think there's supposed to be an 8th book coming out. I think maybe it's the final book. I'm not sure. But I do believe it's supposed to come out next year because they're actually making a second movie. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to do the trench, maybe. If that's what they're going to be doing. So it'll be interesting. And then there's Tony Hill and Carol Jordan by Val McDermott. I need to read numbers 2 through 11, and I have read number 2. So, I mean, at least I've read 1. I don't really foresee me getting to another one this year, but maybe I could whittle one in there, maybe. I don't know. And then I have Spindle Cove by Tessa Dare. I need to read numbers 2 through 5. So there you go. Again, I have read number 1, and then I didn't continue. But I love Tessa Dare. I love her books. Her books are really good. And I do want to get to at least 1 book this year. Like I said, I just need to make sure I look at my list when I'm making out my TBR. Won't be next month, that's for sure, because I have a totally different plan for next month. But maybe there is a romance readathon coming up in September. So maybe. And then I have Pendergrast by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. This is the last book on my list of 20. And I need to read book number 3 through 20. And I've read numbers 3 and number 4. So I've read at least 2. So I'm doing good. I would like to get to another one because I really like this series. It's just so many books, so little time. So the next one are 20 new series that I would like to at least get to 1 or 2 books in 2022. And let's see how we're doing with that. So, Lucas Davenport series by John Sanford. There are 31 books in that series. I would like to read. My goal was to read at least 2 books if I started a new series, but I don't see that really happening. Then the next one I have is the How to Train Your Dragon series by Cressida Cow. I started this series this year. Read books. There's 12 books. I've read books 1 through 6. I am currently currently in the middle of reading book 7. We're reading, me and a friend are buddy reading this, so we're reading 1 book a month, so it's definitely going to get finished. So at least I will accomplish finishing a series off of my new list. And then I had Keeper of the Lost City by Shannon Messenger on here. There were 9 books in that series. I read 3, and I DNF'd at 4, and I will not be continuing that series. So that one is X'd off. I will not be continuing. It just wasn't enough action, enough stuff going to keep me interested. I got bored. I was getting bored with number 3, and I was pushing myself to try to read number 4, and I was like, no. And the books just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I was like, no, I was out. Grant County by KARIN Slaughter. There are 6 books in that series. It's a series that I started buddy reading with my friend Barb, and we have read 1 through 3. I am currently listening to the audiobook for number 4. That's our buddy read for this month. So I am in the middle of that. I think I can get through that the series this year, because we'll only have 2 more to go. So I think I can do it. And then the Hidden Legacy series by Ilona Andrews. There are 6 books in that series, and we have done 1 through 3 so far. I can't wait to get to number 4 in that series. Really love that one. Buddy reading that with my friend Barb. Then there's the Jack Reacher series by Lee Child. There are 26 books in that series as of whenever I made this. I don't know if there's a new one come out, but I have read book 1 and book 2, so I have hit the mark on that one. I wanted to try that series, and I've read 2. I do want to continue on with the series. It just probably will not be this year. Then there's the Lord Peter Wimsey series by Dorothy Sayre. There are 11 books in that series, and I read book 1 back in March. I need to try another one. There again, I'm not sure if I will get to it before the end of the year. Then I have The Last Musketeer by Stuart Gibbs. There were 3 books in that series, and I have completed that series. So I started it, and then I finished it, so I did really good. And it was probably one of my favorite Stuart Gibbs series, even though it was a trilogy. It was really short, but I got through it, and I'm glad. Bibliophile Mystery by Kate Carlisle. There are 16 books currently in this series. I have read book 1. I wasn't a huge fan of book 1, but I do want to try book 2 and see how it goes. I haven't gave up completely on the series. It's just not very high on my radar anymore. Same with Booktown Mysteries by Lorna Barrett. There are 16 books currently out in that series that I know of. I have read book 1. I didn't quite like it as much as I was anticipating, because it is about a book town. I should really like it. I just didn't like it quite as well. I do need to try to give number 2 a try. The Secret Book and Scone Society by Ellery Adams. There are 5 books in that series, and I have not started that series. And I really need to, because I have read pretty much every Ellery Adams book out. For some reason, I just haven't started this series. I've read all our other ones. I just haven't. I don't know. But I want to give it a try. And then there's Eddie Flynn by Steve Kavanaugh. There are 6 books currently out in that series that I'm aware of. And I haven't started on this one either. But I really, really want to. You'll see that a lot. I really, really want to. I just haven't done it. And then Stephanie Plum series by Janet Ivanovich. There are 28, I think, in that series. And I have books 1 through 3 now, because I acquired book 2 and book 3 through my aunt's book haul that I did. And I just need to get to them, because I haven't started yet. And then there is the Bryant and May series, The Peculiar Crime Unit by Christopher Fowler. There are 15 books currently in that series, and it sounds so good. I heard of this series because of Janelle from Too Fond of Books, and it's one of her favorite series, and I do have book 1. I just need to read it. As you can tell, not doing very good with the reading of the series that I thought I would like to try in 2022. Again, Leap, Horn, and Chi by Tony Hillerman. I have quite a few of the books from this series on my shelf. There are 25 I have not started. Another one is The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel by Michael Scott. There are 6 books in this series. It is a completed series. I've read book 1, but it's been so long ago, and with a fantasy type middle grade series like this, I would have to start over. So I'm going to start back over at number 1, and I haven't done it yet. And then there's the Verity Kent series by Anna Lee Hubbard. There are 5 books out in the series so far. I added this series in because I read book 1 and I wanted to continue with the series, so I thought, why not just add that one on here. Then there's the Rosolian Isle series by Tess GERRITSEN, and there's 13 books in that series, and I have not started it yet. And the Poppy McAllister series by Libby Klein. There are 7 books in that series, and I have read 3, and have I read 3? No, I take it back. There are 7 books in that series, and I have tried 2 of them, and I'm not a huge fan of the series, but I do think I need to try at least 1 more before I give up on the series, because everybody says that book 2 was not, as good as the later ones. I think it maybe hits its stride at book 3, and so I do need to try to give that a try. And Pages & Co. by Anna James. There are 4 books currently out in that series, and I have read book 1, so at least I have read 1. Then there were the 2 series that I would like to start and finish in 2022. And I picked Theodore Boone by John Grisham, which I have read 4 books out of 7. So I can do it. I think I can get all 7 of them done. I just need to find time and make myself do that. They're not very big. They're pretty thin. And I enjoy the series, so I can do that. And then the Mr. Limoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein. There are 5 books, I think, currently out. Maybe 6. I don't remember. I know there was one that came out this year, and I don't know if I counted that on here. But I have read 4 of them. And I keep meaning to get to book 5 because I really, really like the series. But I've read the first 4 on audiobook, and I can't find the 5th one. Can't find the 5th one on audiobook anywhere. And so I just haven't gotten to it, and I'm hoping maybe I can find an audio. If not, I will grab the ebook and probably do it that way. So that's all for my series about series list. I don't know. I'm doing okay, I think. Yes, there are some series that I haven't actually got, but in the grand scheme of things, I have worked on a lot of series. I've started a lot of series that aren't even on this list. So, at the end of the year, like I did last year, I will probably go through all of the series that I have started this year, all the series that I have continued with this year that weren't on my SAS list, so that you can see. I feel like I've accomplished working on series even though they might not be all on this list. So I'm not really going to be too hard on myself for not getting to some of these if I don't get to them. And then another thing I wanted to do was to at least read 5 classics. And I have read The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. A Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. It's a kid's classic. I'm counting it. Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell, which I kind of consider my big accomplishment. And then I reread Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. So I've read 4, and I wanted to read 5. I do plan on reading Northanger Abbey this month, so technically that would be my 5th classic. So I have, I'll be hitting that goal, and we'll see if I can read even more than just the 5, but I'm good with 5. My cozy alphabet challenges, and my non-cozy alphabet challenge that I'm trying to do with the Killing Time with Cozies, I am doing like decent. Let me count here. Okay, so the cozy mystery books, I still need 13 letters. So I'm not doing real well, but I'm not doing like horribly bad. My non-cozies though, I only need like 5 letters. So I've done quite a lot better with that one. I am currently down to a lot of the harder letters to find that, and with cozies, like, everything has to start with death or murder. I mean, come on. So those are a little bit harder. But yeah, so we'll get to some more of those, I'm pretty sure, but that's how I'm doing on that anyway. Okay, so another goal that I had was to read books from my own shelf, especially since you've seen lots and lots of book hauls between like last year and this year. This year has been, you know, I have a problem with used books. I want to rescue them all. And so I need to read more of my books to see if I want to keep any of these books on my bookshelves. And I've done fairly well. I could do better, but I have done fairly well. I have read 19 books off of my bookshelves. If I get these 2 finished that I have for my retro, I will have knocked off a couple more. But, and I have some more that, you know, I acquired not too long ago. And so yeah, so I seem to get more than I actually read. So I still need to work on reading my own books, but at least I have read some of my own books. We'll just put it that way. And at the end of the year, I will probably go through the list and show you all of the books that I have read and everything. Didn't want to do it now. I figured that would be a nice end of the year kind of video to show. I split all these goals up into different videos because that would be too long if I didn't. Like, this one is already getting too long as is. But yeah, that's my, I have one more goal that I don't think I actually ever made a video for. So I may make a video and then talk about it, because I really wanted to work on my NetGalley books this year and to try to keep up with the ones from this year at least, and then try to get to some of my backlog, because I have a NetGalley pile of shame that I really need to get through and everything. I would like to get my percentage up a tiny bit, but I feel like even if I just show you the books that I have, at least I am showing the public the books, and I think that could kind of count. Even if I haven't got to them yet, at least, you know, get some people interested in them. Maybe they haven't ever seen these books before. So I do need to make that video and talk about those, and probably try to do that before the end of July, because I do really want to concentrate on a lot of my e-arcs and things in August for an ARC August, and so we've got that to look forward to. Just need to sit down and go through everything and make the video. Anyway, so this is how I've done so far on my goals. I think I have done a fairly decent job. Could be better, but it could be worse. So we're going to say it's a win. It's not a total loss anyway. So have you read any of the books that I have talked about, any of the series or anything? Do you like any of the series, or do you hate any of the series that I'm trying to work on? talk down in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.